Hi, I'm Pink142, aka Taylor, and today I'm going to be talking about the top 5 best Disney/Disney Pixar movies in 1 second. I apologize, I had to fix my sheet. So before I begin, I want to give a shout out to Carrie Underwood. I'm a big fan of hers, and she won Vocal Event of the Year last night at the ACMs, Academy of Country Music Awards. And I'm I I'm sorry that I'm sorry, Carrie, that you didn't win Female Vocalist of the Year. I thought you deserved it, but that's just my opinion. If it was up to me, if I was doing the voting, I would have voted for you in a heartbeat and made you Female Vocalist of the Year. But it is what it is. So now on to the list. So this is my personal list. This is what I think are the best Disney/Disney Pixar movies. These are factual. This isn't like the real list. This isn't like the actual an actual list. It's just my opinion. So you guys, what I think is like the best Disney/Disney Pixar movie, you guys might differ. You guys might think no, it's this movie. So post in the comments below what your favorite Disney/Disney Pixar movies are. And without further ado, let's begin. Starting with number 5. Number 5 is Bambi. I did not. Funny story, actually. I did not see this movie until I was like 13 or 14 years old. I'm not making this up. Got it for my birthday one year because I had never seen it, and I really wanted to see it, so I got it for my birthday, and I loved it. I loved it, and a lot of people were like traumatized by the scene where Bambi's mom dies. I wasn't. I was like, that. Oh, how sad! Like Bambi doesn't have a mom anymore. She's gone. But I'm like, that's kind of like the circle of life. It happens, and yeah. So, and I was glad that Bambi made it out alive. I'm glad that Bambi made it out alive, and like it's just hilarious. Like when Bambi first starts talking and calls the skunk flower. I mean, that's hilarious. Like the movie's hilarious. The animation is beautiful. It's beautiful. Like after like the drift drop. Well, actually, it's called Little April Showers. After that song is over, they show like the rain droplets coming off these leaves, and it looks so realistic. It's not even funny. If you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. If not, this is all foreign to you. But yeah, it's awesome. Number 4. Number 4 is The Little Mermaid. I love this movie, and I love it more than Bambi because I have a special connection to this movie. I have 2 nieces, a 9-year-old niece and a 4-year-old niece, and when my 9-year-old niece was just a baby, when she was probably a little over a year old, I used to sit her in her little bouncy chair. It was like this chair that like leaned back like this, and like it would bounce if you turned it on. And I'd sit her in this chair, and I'd turn on The Little Mermaid, and we'd watch it together. But in reality, she wasn't really watching it. She'd throw a fit. She did not want to be in that chair. She'd just get up and walk around and didn't want to be in that chair. She just didn't like it. But I just remember I have fond memories of seeing it with her, and I love that movie so much. It's such a great movie. Prince Eric, like I have never had like a cartoon crush or an animated crush on any animated human being, but if I did, it would have to be Prince Eric. Prince Eric was kind of cute. I can see why Ariel wanted to marry him, but the thing I didn't get was Ariel was 16 when she married Prince Eric. When she married Prince Eric, you in most states in the United States, you can't marry at 16. You can marry at like 17 or 18, but not at 16. I don't know how she got away with that. And he looked like he was about 20 years old. That's illegal. That's illegal. But that's Disney for you. And it's such a great movie. The animation is incredible. The story is incredible. I mean, I mean, like, she gave up everything for her one true love, for a chance at one true love. I mean, that takes guts. That takes a lot of guts and courage to do that. And I hated Ursula. I did. I still hate her to this day. She is just not, uh, she is not, uh, she's not a good character. She was so evil, and I hate her. When she died, I was like, heck yeah, she finally died. I was so happy when she died. And that's kind of heartless, but considering who Ursula was and the type of like sea creature she was, you would agree with me as well. Number 3. This movie I did not see until I was probably about 11 or 12 years old. I was over at my grandma and my mom's stepdad's house. I was over at their house, and I'd spent the night over at their house, and I was staying over there for majority of the day, the next day. And I had on like Playhouse or Disney Junior, whatever you would call it. Playhouse Disney or Disney Junior, whatever you would call it. And they were showing Fox and the Hound. And that's my number 3, Fox and the Hound. I watched it. I fell in love with the movie. It's so good. I cry every single time I watch that movie. And I cry because when the old lady, I forgot what her name was, when she has to give Todd away, when she has to take him into the forest, that scene gets me every time. I cry every single time. And my dad, he actually had, which I have now, he had 3 Disney Greatest Hits CDs, and each one had was a different color. You had red, green, and purple. And each CD had a special, like, had different songs on it. And one of the CDs had Fox and the Hounds, When You're the Best of Friends. I remember listening to that song before I'd ever saw the movie and loved the song. And I still love the song to this day. Love the movie. It's so sad. It's so good. And you kind of you hate Amos Slade. It makes you mad, but then but it also warms your heart. And yeah. So Fox and the Hound, number 3. Number 2 is a little controversial because people will be like, why isn't that number 1? That should be number 1. This is my opinion. This is my list, so deal with it. I apologize for getting upset, but yeah. My number 2 is The Lion King. I love this movie. I used to watch this movie when I was a kid, and then I couldn't watch it anymore because I was on a trip with my parents and my sister to Galveston, Texas for my doctor's appointment with the Shriners. And we took our portable DVD player down there, and we took The Lion King. Well, I lost the disc that had the movie. It was a 2-disc DVD, and I lost the first disc that had the movie. So I wasn't able to watch the movie anymore. Yeah, not my proudest moment, but yeah. I absolutely love The Lion King. And a lot of people cried when Scar died. I was so young when I saw the movie that I was like, this isn't sad. And I still watch it. I've seen that clip over and over again, and I don't cry. I'm like, it's the circle of life. I mean, it happens. It happens it happened. He was going to die eventually. I mean, it's not, but I'm not like Joven from Smosh Games who cracked up laughing when Mufasa died. No. But I do I love the movie for Timon and Pumbaa. Timon and Pumbaa are hilarious. Like, my favorite quote in the whole movie is when they say Pumbaa's like, it's our motto, and Simba's like, what's a motto? And Timon's like, nothing. What's a motto with you? Yeah, and I crack up every single time I see that. It's such a great movie, and it was revolutionary actually, because I believe at the time when this movie like was being made, before this movie was being made, they did like storyboard animation. They didn't really do much computer animation. This was like a new step for them to do computer animation, and I love that. I love that they took this new step and they were going to uncharted territory, something that they didn't really know much about, and they made it work. And that's what I love about this movie. My number one, because I did have some honorable mentions, but I didn't want to make this video like super long, and so yeah. But my number one is my favorite Disney Pixar movie of all time. I've seen this movie a million times. I remember seeing this movie in the theaters. I went with my sister, my aunt, and my cousin. We were all at the mall. We were all at this one mall in Tulsa called Promenade, and they have a movie theater inside the mall called Hollywood Theaters. Not a sponsor, by the way. And and I remember seeing this movie with them at that theater. And we were sitting all the way in the back, because for me, that's the best place to sit. My mom hates sitting in the back. When we go to movie theaters, she will not sit in the back. She likes to sit in the middle, and I'm like, no, the back is the best spot. The back is the best spot. And so I love sitting in the back of movie theaters. It's just something I've always loved doing. And I remember we were sitting in the back of the movie theater watching this movie, and I fell in love with it. I quote this movie all the time, and I'm talking about Finding Nemo. I quote Finding Nemo all the time. Like, I have a friend that's all we just do. We talk about Harry Potter and Finding Nemo. That's like the two biggest things that we talk about. And we quote this movie all the time. They had this movie was on ABC Family, which is now Freeform. It was on TV one time, and we were quoting this movie as the movie was playing. We were quoting it, and we were also in Facebook Messenger, by the way, quoting this movie, and we would also mention like the commercials that were on too. Crazy, I know, weird, I know, but that's just what we did. And my favorite line out of the whole movie, my favorite scene out of the whole movie is when Dory and Marlin are getting ready to meet the anglerfish. That's what it's called. It's called an anglerfish. Ugly looking fish, by the way. I don't know how they made that fish look as good as it did in the movie, because that fish is an ugly fish. No offense, but it is. And Marlin's touching Dory's fin, and Dory's like, who's got me? And Marlin's like, that would be me. And Dory's like, are you my conscience? And Marlin's like, yeah, I am your conscience. We haven't spoken in a while. How are things going? And Dory's like, can't complain. And Marlin's like, now Dory, I want you to tell me, do you see anything? Or no, he says, now Dory, I want you to tell me, what do you see? Or something like that. And Dory's like, I see a light. And then she's like, hey, Conscience, am I dead? I crack up every single time during that scene. It's such a good movie. I love that scene. I also love the scene where she sees a little baby jellyfish, and she's like, I shall call him Squishy, and he shall be mine. Come here, little Squishy. Come here, little Squishy. Come here. Ow. Bad Squishy. Or when they're in the having like being chased by Bruce, the shark, and like she's reading the sign that says escape, and she's like, escape. Weird. It's spelled just like the word escape. Yeah, but she's like, escape. I love when she says that. Or I also love when she's trying to speak whale, and then after and she's like, does that sound a little orcish? Does that sound a little orcish? I think that sounds a little orcish. Does that sound a little orcish to you? And I crack up, and then like when they get thrown out of the whale's blowhole, they get like thrown out of there, like blown out of there, and like Marlon starts speaking whale, and Dory's like, "Wow, I wish I could speak whale." Dory is like the best Disney character of all time. I love Dory, and there's no better person than Ellen DeGeneres to play Dory. And I remember like telling my friend, this was a few years ago, I told her that Dory was played by Ellen, and she's like, no, she wasn't. No, she wasn't. I was like, yeah, she was. Ellen played Dory, and she's like, she looked it up, and she's like, oh, you were right. And I was like, yeah, I was. So, Finding Nemo. So it goes Bambi, Little Mermaid, Fox and Hound, Lion King, and Finding Nemo. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell, because next week, a week from today, I'm doing another Disney video. I'm going to be doing top 5 Disney Channel original movies, DCOM movies. So look out for that one, because it'll be really fun. And actually on Friday I'm doing the best N64 games, Nintendo 64 games. So continue with that series. I don't know how long this series is going to go, but I hopefully it'll be long. So yeah, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Bye!